folks, hope you're okay. Welcome back to Friday Fitness. It is me, Andy Chadwick, and I've got another great one for you this week. So we're going to be looking at 3 moves for your core and your trunk. We're going to look at some extension, we're going to look at some static holds, and we're going to look at some flexion as well. So the first one we're going to get to is your extension movement, and we're going to be looking at the bird dog. Now the bird dog's a great exercise because we're having to stabilise the pelvis and stabilise the shoulders as we're performing a movement. So what I'm going to do here is set myself up in a 90-degree position here, or tabletop position, and we're looking at the knees stacked underneath the hips and the wrists stacked underneath the shoulders. I'm going to contract my pelvic floor and I'm going to pull my belly button towards my spine. I'm going to hold my posture here. Now from here I'm going to take my opposite arm and leg and I'm going to extend them out. The big thing that I'm focusing on here is making sure that I'm stabilising through the trunk as I perform this movement, nice and controlled, out and back in. So we're looking at that full extension of both the arm and the leg, keeping nice and stable, while consciously focusing on pulling that belly button in and keeping that pelvic floor activated. Again, nice and controlled, extending out. If you start to notice here that there's a little bit of wobbling and you're moving around a little bit too much, you may just find that there's a little bit of kind of inactivity or inability to be able to control the pelvic floor. So an easy thing you can do here is concentrate on just one arm at a time or just one leg at a time. And you just work through what you can manage, and then from there you can change it up and try and increase it to the progression. The second exercise we're going to go through is going to be a side plank. And again, I'm going to give you a baseline and I'm going to give you a progression for this. So with a side plank, we're looking for a 90-degree bend in the elbow. We're going to have our elbow stacked underneath our shoulder again, and we're going to have our knees bent at 90 degrees. Now from here, I'm going to bridge on up and I'm going to squeeze my left side. So the side that's closest to the floor, I'm going to squeeze as hard as I can. And if I wanted to increase it a little bit more and make sure that I'm staying nice and square through the chest and through the torso, I'm going to take my arm up into the air. So I've got a nice straight line from my shoulders to my hips to my knees, and then from there I can come down. Again, 30 seconds on each side is going to be a great start position. When you're ready, you can advance it by taking the feet out. From here, bridging on up. You can have your feet stacked, or you can have one foot in front of the other. As long as you can keep that tension in the side as you contract. Again, you can keep the arm up to the side to keep yourself nice and level with the chest. And if you wanted to progress it further, you can go foot up into the air to place a little more tension through the hips. When you're done, coming on back down. A great place to start here is 30 seconds on each side, making sure that you're contracting both sides, and really focus on holding the core tight and the pelvic area tight as well, because it's a lot of load through the hips and it's also a lot of load through the shoulders as well. So the final exercise we're going to go through is going to be a Turkish Get Up, or a half Get Up. And we're going to be looking at some flexion here of the spine, or certainly flexion of the hips, that's going to bring us up into our top position. Now I'm coming over onto my back, I'm going to take one leg straight, I'm going to have one knee bent. From here, whichever knee is bent, you're going to have the opposite arm, or the same arm should I say, on the same side, out to the side. So the right foot for me is out at maybe 15 to 30 degrees. My left knee is bent, my left arm is straight, and my right arm is going to be up in the air. Now you can go with no weight or you can go with weight depending on what level you're at. But from here, I'm going to use my left arm to sit on up and flex and up to the top. Down, down. Okay, if we switch it around now, you're going to see here, left leg is straight, right knee is bent. My right arm is out to the side. My left arm is up. From here, I'm going to come on up, I'm going to use my elbow, and then I'm going to push up off the hand or off the elbow to the top, down onto the elbow, and then back down. So as I'm coming up, I'm flexing at the hips, and I'm using my abs and my core to be able to come up to the top. I'm still using the arm, but this will allow me, or give me the advantage of adding load to it. So I've got a dumbbell here. So with this dumbbell now, I'm going to put more load through and more tension through the core, through the trunk section, to be able to bring that weight to the top in a nice controlled manner. Again, use the elbow, use the hand as we're coming on up. So it's a great way, or great advantage, to be able to load and overload the stomach and the core to be able to get work done. So progressions for this would be increasing the load. Start with just body weight. increase it as you go, add more load to it, add more reps to it. For the first exercise with the bird dog, I'd recommend 3 sets of 10 reps on each side. If you struggle with doing each side or opposite arm and leg at the same time, go with each limb and do like an around the world version where you may go right arm, left leg, right leg, and make your way round the body that way. Again, 10 reps on each one is going to be perfect there. Going on to the side plank, I'd do 30 seconds on each side to begin with, 2 to 3 sets. You could do these 3 exercises in a circuit. Start from the knees, build up, make sure you're feeling the tension through the stomach or through the oblique area or the transverse abdominis on the side. Make sure that the shoulder isn't taking the tension. It's got to stay through the core, and obviously just pick up any weaknesses, progress it up to the feet or bring the foot up into the air. Go with what works for you. Finally, with the Turkish Get Ups, depending on what your level is, you may look at 2 to 3 sets of 5 to 10 reps on each side. This is going to be quite a difficult move as you start to fatigue, that you're going to be finding it difficult to overload. So make sure that you're just staying in control of the movement and you're using the arm to help you flex on up to the top. Folks, that's this week's Friday Fitness. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you got something from it. Implement these exercises into your workout. You're going to feel a lot stronger through the midsection, and you're going to be able to find that you're a lot stronger when you're in your golf swing, and you can hold your positions a lot better because you're able to stabilize but also mobilize the areas as well. Thank you very much for checking the video out, folks, and I'll see you all next week for another Friday Fitness. Peace out.